Here's more wrestling news for October 7th, 2022. And we're starting off today with Daniel Cormier, who will be the guest referee for this Saturday's Fight Pit match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle in the former UFC fighter's debut for WWE. Many have predicted that Cormier's role at Extreme Rules is just a stepping stone to the former UFC heavyweight champion wrestling, which isn't too far-fetched. In 2018, Cormier had an altercation with Brock Lesnar at a UFC event, but in an interview with ESPN's Mark Raimondi, said he hadn't heard anything about a match with the Beast. No, I've not heard anything about that. When something like this happens, and this is honestly very good for me because people start to talk, so people start talking going, oh my goodness, I remember when him and Brock were in the octagon. It seems to make a lot of sense, but as you know, just because something makes sense doesn't mean it's going to happen. So no, there is not talk of me fighting Brock Lesnar. We laid the foundation, but we did not get the payoff. It was the slow build. The build was far too slow. It was like a year build with no WrestleMania match to end, so that kinda sucked. Cormier hasn't heard anything about a Lesnar match and added that as of right now, his appearance at WWE Extreme Rules will be a one-time thing. The ex-fighter did say that we'll see how it goes and that he's not open to things, teasing that this appearance could lead to something bigger with WWE, but that right now, no deal has been struck other than for one night. It's been 4 years since Lesnar shoved Cormier following the latter's win at UFC 226, and while a match in WWE is possible, nothing has been set in stone. Now, tonight's SmackDown will serve as the season premiere of the Blue brand, and with the new season comes a brand new commentary team. WrestleVotes first reported on Twitter to report that there will be a change of commentary starting from next week's Raw, but did not explain who would be leaving or joining the desk. Variety later reported that starting from tonight's show, Michael Cole and Wade Barrett will be calling the action on SmackDown, with Barrett joining from NXT. On Twitter, Barrett shared his excitement to bleed blue, as he put it, and praised Cole as the greatest of all time. Samantha Irvin will stay on as SmackDown's ring announcer, while Kayla Braxton and Megan Morant will conduct interviews. Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick will be behind the desk on Raw, and Mike Rome will be serving as the ring announcer. Byron Saxton, who had been a Raw commentator, will now be doing on-screen interviews, as will Kathy Kelly, who is returning to WWE after leaving in 2020. For NXT, Vic Joseph will still be calling the action behind the commentary table, with two-time Hall of Famer Booker T, while Alicia Taylor will be the ring announcer. So far, the changes made by WWE's head of creative and talent Triple H have gone down well with the WWE Universe, and expect the landscape of the company to change within the coming week. CM Punk's 2022 has certainly not been the year AEW was hoping for, as between his injuries and the all-out brawl, his return to wrestling has been something of a dud. Right now, Punk is the subject of a legal investigation into what exactly happened at All Out, and Tony Khan is keeping mum on the topic. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, the AEW president was asked about the two-time former AEW world champion, but would not say anything regarding Punk's possible future in AEW. I cannot share any of that with you. I appreciate and understand that you had to ask. You can ask, I appreciate that you asked, but I cannot answer that, my friend. The whole thing, I just can't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, but I understand what you gotta do. There is a belief among some that Punk has already had his last match in AEW, as Khan may simply not bring back the problematic star who currently is out with an injury. Ultimately, Tony Khan will have to make a difficult decision, but that decision won't be made and certainly won't be said aloud until the investigation is over. It may be a long time before we see CM Punk in an AEW ring again, and one name who probably won't be working with Khan either is Bray Wyatt. After the former Universal Champion was released from WWE, many called on Bray to sign with AEW, but it now looks like he'll be WWE's White Rabbit. In the interview, Khan was asked about Wyatt and said he won't address stars he hasn't spoken to. I don't want to talk about people I haven't talked to, but he's a great guy. I think I've said this in interviews before, so I wouldn't be giving anything away. He was at Chris Jericho's birthday party. Khan went on to add that while he never spoke to Bray about a deal, he thinks he's a tremendous talent. With reports that Bray was asking for a lot to work for promotions, it was understood that only WWE and AEW have the revenue to afford him. But with Khan confirming that he hasn't spoken to Wyatt, expect his return to WWE very soon. During his now infamous all-out rant, CM Punk took aim at his former best friend Colt Cabana, mocking the veteran wrestler for sharing a bank account with his mother. The friendship and fallout between Punk and Cabana has been well documented, but someone at PWT's has decided to have fun at Cabana's expense. In a video, Cabana could be seen taking out several AEW tees and inadvertently grabbed a Punk tee from the box. Trying to laugh off the awkward moment, Cabana's joked that the image with Punk's shirt will be the thumbnail and called someone off screen an for setting this up. Cabana may not have sold as many shirts as Punk, but he still appears for AEW, which is more than can be said for his former best friend. In March, Tony Khan appeared on Dynamite to announce that he had purchased Ring of Honor, which hadn't held an event since December of last year. Since then, Khan has held 2 ROH events and is actively seeking a TV deal for the veteran promotion, but things could have gone much differently. Sitting down with Wrestling Inc.'s Nick Hausman, former ROH owner Kerry Silkin said that CM Punk showed interest, but the way he did so hardly impressed Silkin. Silkin explained that Punk showed interest via a single text message, inquiring whether he was looking to sell the company, and the then ROH owner felt like something this important warranted a phone call. Obviously, Punk did not end up buying Ring of Honor, and a deal with Khan would be reached, but we can't help but wonder what ROH would be like today if the suspended former AEW World Champion was the one running the ship. As we mentioned earlier, Daniel Cormier is set to appear at this Saturday's Extreme Rules, and many expect him to one day face off with Brock Lesnar. Both men were huge stars of the Octagon, and a match between the two would be big business for WWE, but the big question is, who would win such a showdown? Speaking on her YouTube channel, fellow UFC legend Ronda Rousey gave her pick for the dream match, saying, "Well, I would say the DC is a better wrestler because he went to the Olympics. Since that is their kind of root art, I have to go with Cormier then, but I don't know. You never know." Like Cormier has said, he's not heard anything from WWE over a potential match with Lesnar, but if they do lock horns, Rousey knows who she's betting on. Andrade El Idolo's time with AEW may be coming to an end one way or another soon, but that's not the only company he competes for. In addition to AEW, Andrade also competes for AAA, but has had some serious claims to make about the promotion. Sitting down with Mas Lucha, Andrade claimed that AAA seriously undervalue and underpay talent, including their top star, El Hijo del Vikingo. Speaking about the reigning AAA Mega Champion, Andrade encouraged El Vikingo to leave AAA and said he believes that the top star only makes between $100 to $200 a match. Andrade didn't even stop there, saying that he's heard from sources in AAA that those who main event their shows make far less than the talent that are in the opening match over at rival promotion CMLL. AAA hasn't responded to these claims at this time, but we doubt they're happy with Andrade's accusations. So if El Idolo does finish up with AEW, as many people believe, don't expect him to commit to a full-time contract with AAA. Andrade isn't the only person throwing hands backstage in AEW, as it was after the All Out pay-per-view that CM Punk, Ace Steel, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks had a fight, resulting in all being removed from programming. Not only have none of these names come back, but they've not even been mentioned on TV, and none appeared in a recent graphic celebrating 3 years of AEW Dynamite. Right now, an investigation is underway which could result in legal charges being filed, and Tony Khan is keeping his lips sealed. Speaking to Variety, the AEW president was asked about the situation and responded saying he can't comment on the matter due to the ongoing investigation. With reports that Punk threw the first punch and that Ace Steel threw a chair, some believe that the former world champion could be charged with assault and his manager assault with a weapon, but that hasn't been confirmed. Khan did admit that setbacks in AEW can often be very preventable, and while he rarely shies away from discussing his company, the all-out fight is off limits, at least for the time being. And we're ending with AEW, and for as long as they've been around, the company and Tony Khan has never shied away from taking aim at WWE. Barely a week goes by where Khan or his employees don't at least bring up their competition either on TV or Twitter, a decision that has divided fans. Many have argued that Khan should spend more time focusing on his own company instead, but when speaking to Ariel Helwani, the AEW president defended these digs by comparing AEW to Burger King. Well, we'll get Burger King marketing. What is Burger King marketing? Basically, it's a lot of, hey, McDonald's sucks, guys. So for AEW, it's just part of what we are. We're a challenger brand. There's no reason to pretend we're not. That's what you are. Embrace it. Khan even said that taking aim at competition is part of the corporate philosophy, and said a book handed to him by Warner Media encouraged him to do this. Even with WWE improving post-Vince McMahon, we doubt Khan will stop these digs, which, if he's to be believed, came from his bosses. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.